Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video, we will talk about AWS KMS, which is AWS Key Management Service, and how stand the AWS Key Management Services, or how do we access it? How do we see this feature on the AWS console? So let me just quickly log on to the portal and take it from there. Okay, I'm logged on to the console, and what you would see that if you would type KMS here, you would see Key Management Service. It securely generate and manage AWS encryption keys. Okay, so what actually AWS Key Management Service does, it allows us to easily create keys and control encryption across AWS and beyond. So it's a managed services that makes it easy for all the admins, for us, for me, for you to create and control customer master keys, which is also known as CMK. The encryption key is used to encrypt the data. AWS KMS CMKs are protected by hardware security modules, which are also known as HSMS, that are validated by the FIPS 142 cryptographic module validation program. Except in the China region, Beijing, or the northern regions. So AWS KMS is integrated with most other AWS services that encrypts the data. It's also integrated with AWS CloudTrail to log use of the CMKs for auditing, regulatory, and compliance needs. We can create and manage AWS KMS customer keys. Okay, so how do we create AWS KMS keys? So we can create symmetric and asymmetric customer master keys in the AWS Management Console by using the create key operation. During this process, we determine the cryptographic configuration of the CMK and the origin of its key material. We cannot change these properties after the CMK is created. We also set the key policy for the CMK, which we can change at any time. So if we are creating a CMK to encrypt data, we store or manage in the AWS services, we create a symmetric CMK. So So now we need permissions for creating these customer managed keys. And to create a CMK in the console or by using the APIs, we must have the permission in the IAM policy. So first of all, I have to allow the policy to create this key. So how do we allow a user to create a policy? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the IAM first. This is the service, which is Identity Access and Management. It will take me to the portal. Okay, I'm going to create a new user, and I'm going to give this user admin permission. Okay, I'm going to first of all create a group. I might create a couple of users in the group who has the permission to create the KMS keys. So I would my KMS group. Okay, and I would give them the administrator access. So these are my trusted KMS people who would have the access to create keys or manage keys, right? So I'm gonna go to now users. I will add a user. I will do KMS user one. I might give this access. I'm gonna give them the password. I'm gonna do this permissions. I will give them add to the my KMS group. Create a user. Okay. So this is my KMS user one. I'm gonna copy this information from here. I'm going to save this file and I will close this and I will might create a second user as well. I'm going to create another user as well So I'm going to click on add user. It would be KMS user 2. It would be my encryptor or decryptor. And I'm going to set the password here. Okay, I'm going to uncheck this. Permissions. Now I'm going to add it to the KMS group, review, and create user. So now I'm going to download this file as well, save it, and close it. So I have two users now, KMS user 1, KMS user 2, which are part of my KMS group. This group has administrator access. KMS user 2 I will use to encrypt or decrypt the keys which are on the key management services. All right. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a symmetric key, which is a single encryption key that is used for both encrypt and decrypt operations. If you would see the advanced options, it's KMS, external, and the cloud key store. I'm going to use the KMS, key management services. I'm going to click on next. Display name for the key, my KMS key 1. Description is optional. Let me do it. My KMS key 1. Tag is optional. I'm going to click on next. Define key administrative permission. So it says choose the IAM users and roles who can administer this key through the KMS API. You may need to add additional permission for the users or role to administer this key from the console. So I created KMS user 1 and KMS user 2. I can select 1, I can select 2. It's my wish. So I'm going to allow the key administrator to delete this key as well. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click on next. Define key usage permissions. Select the IAM users and roles that can use the CMK in cryptographic operation. I'm going to select my two users. You can add another AWS account as well. So review, and this is the key policy. So it allows the resource for the action for the KMS all allow for the key administrative users. This is the ARN of my user account that I have created. And these are the actions because this is giving the full access to these two users on the KMS, right? So if you want to copy it, you can copy it. You can paste it on the notepad or the notepad plus plus, whatever you want to. Let me paste it on notepad plus plus. Let it open. Okay, I'm going to save it. File, save as. I saved it. I will go back to the console. I will click on finish. This is this is my customer managed key, and the key usage is encrypt and decrypt. If you want to select this key, you can select key actions. You want to enable this key, you want to disable this key, you want to schedule the key deletion. If you click on this key, if you want to add or remove the key administrator, let's say you want to remove this KMS user 1, you can click on remove here, it will be removed. You can edit this setting as well. You can edit the Q user account as well. So it is the cryptographic configuration. It is a symmetric key. Origin is AWS Key Management Service. Usage is to encrypt and decrypt. You can enable key rotation as well. You can, this is the alias of the key. If you want to use the key action, you can disable the key here as well. You can edit the properties here, right? Click on here. You want to enable it, click on enable, key is enabled here. And now if you want to create an asymmetric key, you can click on create key here. You will select this option, a public and private key pair that can be used for encrypt, decrypt, or sign verify operations. You can select the key usage. It would be encrypt and decrypt. You can go for sign and verify as well. It depends upon you. Now you will select the key spec. Let's say you want to go with 2048 or any one of these. It depends upon you. If you want more documentation, you can go to this Amazon documentation, which talks about selecting the specific key spec, right? I'm going to click on next. You can add the name here. So you can do key 1 asymmetric. You can add the tags. You can add the users same way like we did earlier. You can add the key usage permissions. This is the policy. And this is your symmetric and asymmetric key using the AWS Key Management Service, right? This is how you create the keys, right? Now, if you want to use the key, now you have to navigate to the key table. Let's say you just log in and you don't know about the services. So you would do KMS here. You will click here. You will come to the KMS services. You will click on AWS Managed Keys here. It will load your keys, which are AWS managed keys, which are created by default. These are start with AWS, right, at the starting. And now if you want to see the customer managed keys, which are CMKs, you will click on here. And these are your two keys that we created, which are customer managed, right? Or you can, if at the time of creation you define the keys using a tag, you can also do that. Let's say you are on this here and you are AWS managed key, you can go for AWS, starts with. Then when you do this, you can select here which key specifically you want to see. You can clear the filter, you will see all the keys again, right? And anytime you can display the details. Let's say I want to see the asymmetric key details here. So I will select the key, go into that option. I will click on cryptographic configuration, and it would describe the fields in the detail display, including fields in the tabs as well. Right, so some of these fields are also available as columns in the table display. You have aliases, you have ARN, you have your creation date as well. You have your Cloud HSM customer ID, custom key store ID, custom key store name, description, expiration date, key policy, key rotation, key specs, key type, key usage, origin, public key, signing algorithm, status, tags, right? And we can also customize the CMK tables as well if you want to. You can go to here, customer manage keys, and if you would see this option, this is a settings option or icon, whatever you want to say it. You can click on it and you can customize on the preference pages. You can choose your preferred settings and then choose confirm. Let's say I want to see all of these. I want to see the key type. I want to see all of these things on the tab, visible columns. So I will do confirm and I would see all the tabs, right? And if I don't want to, I will click on here. I would go for, I don't, let's say I don't want to see this, I don't want to see this, click on confirm, and then your tabs or the options are limited to what you, right? And there are some suggested CMK table configurations as well. You can customize the columns that appear in the CMK table to display the information we need about the CMKs like we just did. Okay, so I hope this was informative for all of you guys. If you want any more details, please, if you have any queries, please mention them in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.